If you've ever struggled with self-confidence, with self-worth, or showing up, this video is for you. I know how you feel. I've been there, done that, and I came out and I want to pull you out of that. 18 years ago, I used to be the least confident person in the room. But now, not anymore. I'm probably the most confident person you'll ever come across. And I've made it a life mission to make you the most confident girl in the room as well. I was affected by a rare condition called Parry Romberg Syndrome. Coming from living my life in shame and hiding to living my life out in the open, my life mission is to build lives, empower people with confidence and self-worth tips. Welcome, a round of applause for you. When half of my face started shrinking, I was 12 years old. That's the beginning of adolescence, a very critical time. And I genuinely didn't believe there was a chance for me to build any type of confidence. I didn't think I would become an assertive person. Today, I want to give you 5 confidence tips that I live by. If you don't know who I am, I'm your new bestie. Let's talk about the 5 confidence tips that I live by. And I suggest you could adopt them too, because clearly they work. First tip is for you to own your story before anybody else owns it, before the world owns it. At some point in my journey with Parry Romberg Syndrome, I lost the majority of my hair. The thing is that when alopecia hits you, you don't accept it at first. You start looking for alternative ways to navigate this. So I used to hide behind hairstyles, behind silence, and I did hairstyles that would cover most of my face. And because I was trying to hide, the world could see that I was hiding something. That's how I came across bullying and other people trying to see what was under my hairstyle. And the minute I started to own my story, I realized the world could no longer shame me with my story. If it's out in the open, I'm owning my story. Nobody could shame me using my story. The moment you own your story, the moment you accept, the moment you admit, and the moment you come to peace with where you are, that is the beginning of self-acceptance. That's how it happened for me. I began to become assertive. I began to accept, and I began to ask myself the relevant questions. Like I began to ask myself, what is it that can come out positive from this? And instead of wasting my energy thinking, how can I hide even more? How can I shut the world out? I asked myself, what can I do to own my story? And in that journey came self-acceptance. And now self-acceptance gives birth to self-confidence. Confidence gives birth to self-worth and self-assertiveness. That is why I share my story with Parry Romberg Syndrome openly. I know that when I stand on my truth, I help others to stand in their truth too. The second tip is that confidence is built in private before it comes to the public. Let me tell you about how my mirror became my training ground. The first thing that I had to learn to do in the mirror was smiling at the reflection that once made me cry. Me coming to smile with the mirror every day gave me courage to accept that which I could not change, my face. I knew that this face was here to stay with me for the rest of my life. When I started smiling, when I started saying good things, when I started appreciating my left cheek, my right cheek, I started to feel beautiful. I started to appreciate that I have the ability to breathe, I can still eat, I can still see. I started to appreciate myself on the mirror, and the more I saw myself on the mirror, the more I felt beautiful. I started to feel lovely. And guess what? My mood would improve. My mother had a very big mirror on the wardrobe. I used to go in there, apply my mother's lipstick, kiss the mirror, and then I ran away. At the end of the week, there would be my lips everywhere, and my mother would make me wash it. But at the end of the day, it did a good job. If you're practicing in silence right now, you're not alone. You just need to know that there's many of us out there that started like this, that are doing this, and that are absolutely going to win with you. That is why in our Besties group, we tend to celebrate every small win. If somebody had been afraid to show up wearing pants and that morning they do that, we celebrate with them. And you know what? It turns into big wins. The small wins of celebrating in the mirror, next time we celebrate you in stage. Next time we celebrate you giving a keynote speech. The third confidence tip, I want you to register something in your mind. Rejection is redirection. Rejection is redirection. It's not a verdict. Rejection is redirection. It's not a verdict. Just imagine how much I've been overlooked, judged, laughed at, and abused. But look at me now. Look at me now. Entire perfect example that rejection is redirection. I think I am. I've been overlooked. I've been laughed at. People have said nasty things about me. People have written me off. The society had written me off because honestly, what were the odds that I would come out successful? What were the odds that I would get married? What were the odds that I would live in a foreign country like the United Kingdom? What were the odds that I would get educated? What were the odds? The odds were totally zero. But you know what? Every no that I got, every time people laughed at me, every time people bullied me, every time something negative happened to me, I knew that this was redirection. It wasn't a verdict. So don't be afraid of rejection. When somebody say no to you, don't let that thing kill your confidence. Now, the fourth tip is that confidence is a daily choice. Oftentimes people think I never doubt myself, or I was born confident, or I just came out of my mother's womb bold. And honestly, that is not true. My condition came and tested my confidence. I was a loud child, I was bubbly, but when my condition came, it took and crushed every grain of confidence that I had. And I had to choose, I had to build, I had to be intentional about building confidence. So every day when I go out into the world, I go out with intention. I go out intending to look confident. Even the way I dress out to become confident. I dress out with the intention to become confident. Even the way I speak with the intention to become confident. So confidence has more to do with intention than talent. So confidence shouldn't be anybody's talent. It should be everybody's intention. My advice is that when you wake up and you rise up in the morning, you should rise up with the intention. You should rise up and say, girl, I'm going to show up today. I'm going to show up like the girl I think I am. And of course, you need to pump yourself and talk to yourself and choose to talk to yourself in the most beautiful ways. That's how you build confidence. So confidence is a choice, not a talent. So it's for all of us. It's not for certain people. The fifth one is that you need to surround yourself with real people that call out your self-worth, that improve your confidence, and that speak life to you. One mistake that I did for a few years, I surrounded myself with people that were quiet. People that didn't see much self-worth in me, people that didn't say anything positive to me, and people I couldn't openly express my fears to. And that didn't help my confidence either. It was like I was with people that encouraged me to hide. When I found my tribe, when I found people that spoke the same language, I became a different person. My confidence started to flourish. I was able to share my wins and I get celebrated. I was able to become me and show up unapologetically, and they didn't think I was weird. So bestie, confidence doesn't flourish in isolation. Confidence kinds of need community. It needs company. It needs nourishing. So you need a tribe of women who remind you of who you are, a tribe of women who celebrate you, a tribe of women who call you out when you're wrong, and a tribe of women that lift you up with words of encouragement. You need a tribe of besties in your life. Confidence is not something I was born with. It's something that I fought for. I fought tooth and nail for mine. And confidence took me to places where shyness would have never took me. Confidence got me into rooms where I would have never stepped in there in the first place. Confidence became my passport. I fought for my confidence, and I believe that you have to fight for your confidence too. When you are ready to fight for your confidence, look at the link in the description and join our community of best, where you will meet like-minded people and people that nourish you, and where you will interact personally with me. It's actually a beautiful place where intentional women like me and you prevail together. I can't wait to meet you there, and I can't wait to see you.